All right, Thanksgiving Day. We had to drive, what, 3 hours, but
3 hours. Yep.
We found some snow, parked at a gate, and head out snowmobile trail and cut up in and see if we can find one. A little drizzly today. There's like an inch of snow. Hopefully the wind picks up a little bit by afternoon, but it should be quiet walking anyways because the snow's super soft, but we'll find out when we get in there. All right, we've been Christ, at least a mile and a half from the gate.
Yeah, close to 2. Right?
We just come to where the road ended. It's just funny because you listen to like Hal and he'll tell you big bucks don't like roads. They don't like the crossroads. The road right down there is where it ended, turning the snowmobile trail. And we got this guy. He looks pretty decent. I don't know. We're gonna walk the track out 100 yards and we'll see what he goes through for trees and kind of eye him out, but we might take this one. It's early in the day. He's not going the side of the road we really wanted to go on, but that's the way it works. So yeah,
that's the best one we found all day. So.
Yeah, we cut for three different tracks. The first one we think was a small buck on a doe, and then 2 I think lone doe, maybe smaller bucks, but
everything's coming down to the food and the cuts.
Yeah, this whole backside, we just cleared all the cuts there to the east side of the road. We were gonna start our swing pretty soon to swing out the backside of them, but we come across this, so
50 yards in and here we are.
Things change. So it's funny that, you know, you listen to them guys and they'll tell you that, and we're not far from the road at all, and he decided to cross here, and there's a reason they do that. They don't.
Nobody's been here.
No. So we're gonna go check them out. So it turns out all the tracks are ancient. It's got to be 40 degrees, upper 30s anyway. Everything's melting so fast. So we came to a good sized cut, and so we're gonna bail on this buck, and we're gonna walk the edge of it, stay in the wood line, and hope to catch something that just came out or something a little fresher, because it's the problem with these type of days is if you're not on a real fresh one, they can look similar and melt out, and then they get in with a couple other deer and you got to spend time sorting, and
then you get to the point where we're at now and everybody looks the same.
Yeah,
because they're melted out with the rain and then the warm temps. I haven't had an issue with deer.
No, we're finding him. He's not one that, you know, it was just the first good sized buck we found, so it's not one that it's a shame to walk away from. Yeah, we'll get motoring and probably have a long walk back to the truck, but
Hey.
Or we're going to get the jet sled.
It's one of the two.
One of the two.
Choices.
Alright, we're heading down this skid road back to a log landing, and we cut this track. Kind of similar, probably a little bigger than the one from earlier. It's 12:30, so we're pushing not late day, but so we're gonna follow him for a ways. We're a little worried that back there we got into some deer that we didn't see a track this big, but hopefully he wasn't associated with those, because those were pretty old. It's hard to tell, but I don't think it's all that old. Probably 4 hours or so.
Bigger than the first one.
Yeah, we're gonna poke along on him, and
Going the right way.
he stopped back there, and he didn't make a rub, but he walked up to one and smelled it. So, see what he's got. We came to his bed. About lost his tracks. It's almost down to bare ground up here. I think maybe the sun came out briefly.
Right.
Zapped it.
From down there, the last update, I mean, we climbed 500 feet, 400 or 500 feet, and we lost snow compared to what was down there.
Yeah. And he's a picky sleeper, I guess. But he got up and he fed right here. Came over here and shit. Now it looks like he's headed out that way. Keep going on him. We don't got a whole lot of time left, but we're not far from the trail. I mean, track looks ancient, but we lost a lot of time on him when we were dicking around. We were dicking around because he's wandering so hard, just doing all these S's back and forth, back and forth. You lose time on him, but
exciting to see, especially fucking Thanksgiving week. I mean, we are up north, so this is like, I'm telling you, man, what
He's all fired up now. So after his bed there, we followed him. He ended up pitching back down over the side of the mountain. He came up. So we followed him down in there, and we were kind of second guessing that he might be heading towards that green growth that when we peeled off from the trail after we crossed back over it, we've come across some deer tracks, but they weren't nearly as big as his, so, but you know, didn't really know. But anyway, he started showing signs of life. He started making rubs and scrapes, and I think maybe he smelled a doe, or he got near that last cut there, and he figured maybe there's one in there. But I think he bedded down for a while and got his wits back about him. But I was thinking it might be maybe he ran all night, and what we saw was he bedded in the morning, and then maybe 9-10 o'clock he got up and he was making his rounds again, so that's why he was rubbing trees and whatnot. But so we're back on the road the truck's on. He after that, in that last cut, they ended up turning and heading back towards the mountain they just came off from. He went up, came off, and there was another deer with him. Maybe that was the doe, I don't know. He went into that cut and he found another deer, so I think we're gonna call it a day, because it's got to be after 3 o'clock. And we still got another half, 3/4 of a mile, so I don't know. That's tracking. It rarely works out, but when it does, it's pretty damn sweet.
And we lost most of the snow we had at 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, it's gone.
I mean, up top, on top of the ridge.
You can barely see our tracks coming in. Still, we were on bare ground quite a few times.
On high elevation.
Yeah, way up. We were able to follow his track to the wet leaves, but
2,300 in there somewhere.
Yep.
At one point.
So it is what it is. Good day though. Got a little bit of a ride home, but
plenty of deer. There was no shortage of deer, that's for sure. I mean, we didn't go more than an hour before, you know, in between, before we were back in the deer.
Yep.
Positive note for
the future. For the future, we know where there's a couple good ones. I think that first one was no slouch either, but I think that second one was, I think he was a year older. That was a good track. It was melted out some, but you could tell his stride was as long as mine was, and he wasn't super wide at the chest, but
much better hoof on him though than the first.
Yeah. Till next time.
Catch you later.
Subscribe, do all that jazz. Comment if it's positive. Comment if it's negative.
Sure.
Talk some shit. Do whatever. I won't answer it, but go ahead.
Have at it.
Have at it.